So now that we have our brushes all set up inside of our holder, we can get started. As I told you before, the brushes that start with E are going to be for your eyes. The brushes that start with F are going to be for your face. All you have to do is follow the numbers in order, and I'm going to show you how. So the first brush that we're going to use is the F1E1 brush, which is going to be to apply concealer. So we're starting with the E's. And so in that case, the E is for concealer, and because we're starting with our eyes, it's going to go underneath the brow. I'm just going to take my concealer here, and I'm going to use the flat side so that I can apply this underneath my brow bone. My brows are already done, so I'm taking the concealer to sculpt out underneath my brows. And with this brush, you can sculpt the brow, you can drag that concealer down, and the other side of this is fluffy so that you can blend out any concealer that is left, and that way you get a natural finish, and we love natural. So I am going to take the flat side of the brush, grab some concealer, and use it to sculpt underneath the brow, just so that I can have a sharp brow look, and that gives me that pro look too. I'm gonna flip the brush to the fluffy side and buff any of those harsh edges of that concealer so that it can look super soft and natural. Even if I decide not to wear any eyeshadow, buffing this just helps to give it a natural finish, and that's what we want. Now we are going to start making a habit of putting our brushes back where they belong, inside of the holder, because it helps us to be organized. Now I do have some of my customers who like to lay the F1E1 brush right across, but feel free and welcome to put it right back deep into the holder for a secure hold. All right, so next is going to be E2. On the brush on E2, it says matte crease transition. So we're going to take a matte color to place in our crease in order to use for transition in our eyeshadow. I'm going to start with this brick red color, and I'm tapping the excess product off of the brush. I'm going to bounce this brush in my crease here. I'm going to do that on both sides. The brush is perfectly shaped to fit inside of your crease and perfectly shaped to give you a better blend much faster. Again, we are going to make sure we put our brush back inside of the holder to keep everything organized. Now let's move to E3. E3 is your matte outer V color. This color usually is a little bit darker than your transition color. This adds some depth to your eyes and gives dimension to your eye shape. I'm going to use this deeper matte color and tapping off the excess, and I'm going to start very close to my lash line. And what I'm doing is just using a wiggle motion on the lower portion. I don't want to go above where I put that transition color. I want to stay below that. If I go above, then the color is now going to look way too dramatic for our liking. We want to keep everything looking natural, and in order to do that, we got to stay low. I'm also using the side of the brush and not necessarily the flat of the brush. And we don't want to bring that color all the way over, we're just bringing it halfway. Now at this point, you don't want to worry about the blend too much because we've set up inside of the brush system a way to help you blend any harsh lines that may come up, so hold your horses. So now we put the E3 brush back, we're going to pick up E4. We're going to apply our base and our lid color because we're getting ready to add a little pop. So this is my eyeshadow primer. I'm just gonna take this and put a little dot on both sides, and I'm gonna use one side of my brush to blend that out, and then I'll use the other side of my brush to apply my eyeshadow color. So I'm using more so of a tapping motion, and I wanna pretend as if where I'm placing this is exactly where the eyeshadow is going to be. This is going to definitely make your blend a lot better. Perfect. So now I'm going to flip this brush to the clean side, and I'm going to choose my eyeshadow color, my lid color. I'm going to use a golden color. It has some shimmer in it, and this is really going to pop on my eyelids. I'm using a pressing motion. The pressing motion helps you to get a nice depth of color. You want that color to look strong, bright. You want your colors to show up on your eyes. Super pretty. Now when I'm putting this lid color down, I'm going a little bit past my pupil area, not all the way to the end, just past my pupil area. I like to call that a little more than halfway across the lid. I also like to bring the eyeshadow a little higher, especially for those who have hooded lids. And hooded lids, typically when you open your eyes, your eyeshadow disappears. We don't want that. So we're gonna bring the eyeshadow up just a little bit more. Just like that. Now I'm gonna put my E4 brush back inside of my holder, and this is one of my favorite brushes. E5 is to blend harsh lines. So any harsh lines that you see here, we wanna use this opportunity to use this brush to blend and soften any harsh lines that you may have. So I'm just gonna go over this and blend everywhere those harsh lines may appear. This is going to help you get a soft and natural look to your eyeshadow. Now this is a perfect time for me to emphasize that this is simply a guide. So the brushes are numbered in order to guide you to a flawless look, but that doesn't mean that you can't bounce back to a brush that you previously used. Let's just say, for example, I'm not getting the depth of color that I want in my outer V as before. I can go back to E3 and apply more product to make this color a lot deeper and a lot darker if the other steps seem to have swiped some of that color away. So don't forget that this is a guide where you can always bounce back to the steps that you need. Now, let's move to E6. E6 is really more of a pro tool that you can use. This side was created for gel eyeliner. So everybody does not typically use gel eyeliner, but for those who are intermediate and they're growing their skills to pro skills, then this is definitely for you. Another use for this brush is for those girls who love brow gel as well. That's why the other end is a spoolie. So if you prefer to use a brow gel and you can also use the other end to brush it out, then this brush will be perfect for you. Today, I'm going to be using my gel eyeliner with E6. I just put a little product on both sides, and I'm going in carefully. I love that this brush is super duper flat, so I can get a thin, precise line. You can see that gel eyeliner is super black, and I love that it really makes the eyeshadow pop. I'm gonna do the other side. I should have enough product still on the brush, and it just applies the gel flawlessly. Now, one thing to note while you are doing your gel eyeliner It's good to go ahead and clean this brush because you don't want that gel to harden because it can make it challenging to remove. So the best thing is to take a small little bottle or even a little cup of 91% alcohol, swish it around, wipe it on a paper towel just to go ahead and remove the product. Once you've done that, of course, you just place it right back in its proper holder. Next is going to be E7. E7 is our smudge liner brush. Now this brush is perfect for beginners who don't have a steady hand. This means that you can apply your eyeliner along the top and you can use this brush to smudge so that you can't see your imperfections. Genius, right? So along the bottom, you can also smoke out your liner so that you can have a more sultry and sexy look. So I'm gonna show you how to do that now. I have my pencil gel liner and I am just going to apply that to my lower lash line. And then I'm gonna take my smudger brush and I'm just going to smudge this all the way across. And you can see how it really is getting a smudge and smoky effect. This just makes it look so much more sultry, so much more sexy when you go out and you get ready to take your pictures.